Nobody indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. Got a fantastic show lined up for you today. My man, Big Greg. What's good, brother?
Happy Thursday. Happy college baseball weekend. It's been a wild one already, and just the start of what's going to be a pretty exciting few weeks.
Yeah, man. No doubt. No doubt on that. What also has been wild is the NBA. What a game last night. The Pacers come back, hit a shot to tie it up with literally 0 seconds left, and then win it in overtime. I felt bad for the Knicks. I mean, we're going to talk about it more in a second, but, dude, I felt bad for him. Like, this Knicks team, man, is all heart, guts, and damn. That's a tough way to lose, isn't it?
We just talked about it last week when I was here. We were saying the only team that hasn't given up and refuses to give up are the Knicks. Yeah. Look what happens.
Yep. Yeah.
Crazy.
The Pacers as well. Tony said, AB advertising on the TV again. Yeah, everybody's fine except the NHL because heaven forbid, who wants to expand the game? I mean, why would anybody ever want to do that, you know? Scott, what's up, brother? Good to see you. All right, let's take a look at our plays yesterday. 1-3 for me. Big Brad. Elvis in Copes. Cooper Copes. Well, it's a win. So Brad did well on that one. All right, yeah, here we go. Elvis and Freddie Coops. Yeah. That's about as close as we're going to get. But he hit it, and that's the most important thing. So, Bradley, well done on that one, buddy. All right, let's get to our Howie Schwab crew play of the day. Timberwolves plus 7.5, Thunder minus 7.5. Are you going to go with the over 214.5 or the under 214.5? Polls in the chat. Vote now. We'll update as we always do at the end of the show. Aubie said SEC has not been good with over so far. No, it's been horrible. It's been horrible. If I watch one more 3-2 game, at least Tennessee and Alabama showed up. If I watch one more 3-2 game, I'm gonna start crying over here. It's so boring. Oh God! But we should start seeing it now. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right, let's get to our picks for today. Greg, I thought it would be first, buddy. What you got?
Yeah, we're going hardcore college baseball today. We are starting early with Grand Canyon. Wild one yesterday. They came back and were able to get that victory. I like where they are offensively, and I love that grit. So we'll continue to ride that. I talked to a lot of clients about Texas A&M. I thought they were in a position that, they almost have nothing to lose right now. It's been a season of turmoil. They've had some great series wins, but when you look at where they are in the rankings and standings, they needed to have a pretty good tournament here. And we had them last game, dominant 9-0 victory. And, I like them again today. They're going up against a real good Auburn team, but talk about a team that's back is against the wall right now and I think needs to continue to win, and that's Texas A&M. And then we're going to stick West Coast with our money line parlay, go with the USC Trojans and the Cal Poly Mustangs tonight at plus 138.
Nice, man. See if you can hit your volume a little bit. It's a little low. See if you can turn it. Yeah, see if you can turn that up just a touch. All right, now I'm going to give mine here. Anthony Edwards over 3.5 threes at plus 115. Dude. All right, you get fined for using profanity after the game. All right, the Timberwolves, you were crushing it the first half and then got just your asses handed right to you. Do you have any guts? All right, you like to talk. All right, we hear you, Anthony Edwards. All right, you're yapping everywhere. All right, you're going to have to step up now. You're going to have to do something. All right, man can't hit some threes. See if he can do it again. Take him over 3.5 plus 115. Braves, the Nationals, over 8.5. The Braves are like a fortune cookie. There's not a damn clue of what you're going to get inside of it. But they do have a decent hitting matchup today. I mean, for the love of God. Atlanta, come on. And the Nationals, they're mashing. I don't care who the Braves are throwing. All right? The Nationals can get the job done. We're going to take the over 8.5 here. I don't want to play any props. I don't want to play any team totals. I just want to play both these teams to get some runs and hit. So we're going to take both of them there. We're going to play the over 8.5. Tennessee and Texas over 11. Look, man, I do worry about this game a little bit. And the problem is Texas. Texas is good enough to muddy up a game and where you really can't score. But 95% of their games, they can't score either. Now, I think that they can definitely get runs on Tennessee today. I think Tennessee understands that they're just going to have to come out and mash. That's their only option. They're just going to have to do it. And they did it against Alabama. I think they won 16-10, something like that. But they gave up way too many runs. And Texas is a lot better than Alabama. And that's not a shot at Alabama. Texas is just a good team. That said, though, I think both these teams, I don't think Texas, I'm not saying Texas doesn't care, but this game definitely is way more important to Tennessee than it is Texas. And I actually think that that's kind of dangerous for Tennessee because when Texas gets freaked out, they every game is 2-1. But when they just come in relaxed and play, they can absolutely mash on anybody. And I think that we're going to see that today. So we're going to take the over 11 there. And then Cincinnati and West Virginia, those are two teams that are actually pretty similar. Pretty similar in terms of on-base percentage, pretty similar in terms of batting average, both in conference, out of conference. They're kind of the same team. And I think when you get that, sometimes they can cancel each other out and you get nothing. But I think it's going to be the opposite today. I think both of them are. I think this could be the highest scoring game of the day. And I say that, and it's 1-0, of course. But I do think that Cincinnati and West Virginia can come out and hit on each other. Didn't sound right. They get hit off of each other's pitchers, hit on each other. Now I'm just picturing a game where people are just hitting on each other. All right. Yeah, Cincinnati and West Virginia. We're going to take them over 11 at -115. Okay. So, yeah, we don't need anything hitting on each other. All right. I don't even know. Look, man, I'm jello brain today. All right. Let's get into the NBA. So we've got game 2. All right. The Thunder handled their business in game 1. All right. Like we said, the Timberwolves were kicking ass in the first half and then just stopped. The Thunder just took over. So Oklahoma City leads 1-0 in the series. Game is in Oklahoma City. If you could hit the like button for us, if you're watching on a phone, pull the screen down, hit like, pull it right back up. Thunder 7.5-point favorites, total 214.5. Greg, what do you think here?
I mean, a couple of things with it. You know, you look at how the Thunder were able to pull away and the game plan they had, it was effective. They caused turmoil where they needed to. And honestly, if SGA can continue to get, everything called for him, it's going to be difficult for the T-Wolves. I mean, there's issues that we already, I already saw with this Minnesota team. And, you look back on it and can you be surprised with where the Thunder are? I mean, I'm not. I think they're catching stride again. So it would be hard to lean with Minnesota at all tonight. I would look at maybe the under because of how the Thunder want to play defense and they commit to it. But overall, I would probably have to lean OKC.
Yeah, I mean, it feels difficult not to take them. Now, that said, I mean, I'm not saying that this is a must-win for Minnesota, but, dude, you don't want to go home down 2-0. But then again, in life, sometimes it doesn't really give a damn what you want. You're going to have to go out and win it. And Oklahoma City's fire. All right, they name SGA the league MVP. I think that he comes out a little juiced. Anthony Edwards, I think, comes out real juiced. I'm playing Edwards on threes because I think he's going to shoot a lot of them. I think he's going to make a lot of them. But I'm with you. It would be it. Why wouldn't you take OKC?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they can score almost any time that they want. They play better defense. I don't know. I'm with you. Like I hate to give the why wouldn't you, because then it's you know what I mean. Like that's never good in sports betting, but I don't know, man. Like
I think if I think too, what we saw is if Gobert was going to be a real factor, let alone anything, it could really change what they're able to do. And he just looks goofy and out of place. And they put him on the bench early once they got behind quick because he's just so offensively inept. He just looks clumsy and sloppy. He looks like that seventh grader that's 6 feet tall already and learning how to work his legs. And it's tough to see, and he could be a huge impact if he was able to be of any kind of dominance down low, even defensively. But he can't even get rebounds. I mean, it's poor.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Like you nailed it right there. And Minnesota is such a different team that when they control the pace and they're not turning the ball over every 2 plays, and that's a credit to Oklahoma City and their defense. When Minnesota's on their game, it's hard to beat them because they make it a different style of game. But when they're not, it's hard for them to stay in a game because eventually the other team figures it out. And it's like, oh, okay, well, let's just go to the rack. Just go to the rack, take it. And if you're hitting your threes while doing that, Minnesota, they're not going to have a big answer for you. Like they could keep trying, but you're not going to block every shot. You know what I mean? Yep. And then Minnesota is dependent on bigs hitting threes, which is great when they are, but when they're not, and you're facing a team like OKC who's legitimately 8 deep. Tough. I'm with you, man. Like it feels like OKC is the play. My man Big John Eccles said any team total looks. I don't know the numbers there. If you have them, drop them in. We can talk about it. I don't have them in front of me. I would assume. What is OKC? 106, 105? Minnesota would be what, 102? I don't know. Drop them in, John, if you have them, or anybody else. Big Matt Logan said, how do you not keep riding Randall over, guys? Yeah, he has. Yeah, he definitely has. It's tough. Look, I'll stop right there, but I'm with you. Like, Oklahoma City... If Oklahoma City came out and ran that game from beginning to end, right, just start to finish, I could see a letdown game today. But the fact that they were down and kind of getting handled in the first half and then just said, we're going to take over. It feels like that translates. It feels like that carries over. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. It seemed like they figured something out defensively because you saw how Minnesota came out, just lights out, absolutely, and OKC just sticks around. They're that thorn in the side, and like you said, I think that with the way that they finished this last game, I think that momentum carries over. I think that they figured out what works, and with the depth that they have, they can run this team into the ground. I think they can. If they want to set that pace and just keep running, they can, and if they want to slow it down and grind out possessions and make Minnesota run all over, they can do that as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, real quick on the game last night, we'll get into baseball here. Dude, we played Tyrese Halliburton over threes in the afternoon show yesterday. And I say that, not for the pick, but I say it for how good that, not only everybody for Indiana that played, but, Halliburton lived up. You know, and you had Stephen A. Smith all week just yelling that Halliburton's not a star. He's like, first off, I don't even know what that is, but well, his ass is now. And you want to tell Nesmith went off. I mean, this dude had 8 threes by the third. I mean, he was just drilling. And you know, we also talked about how. Well, first off, I said I would take the under, which not good. And I mean, it was 250 going into overtime. But we did talk about how this series overtime could be in play. And we saw it last night. And not that it's going to happen every game, but these are going to be tight games. Overtime is definitely something that could come into play with betting these games. So just something to think about there. All right, we'll jump out of here. Last thing here. Okay, John said, okay, team totals. Oklahoma City, 111 and a half. T-Wolves, 104 and a half. Greg, either of these over or under stand out to you?
No. I could see how they could go both ways. It's hard. I would say, if anything, I'd maybe lean T-Wolves over. I think 104 and a half is achievable for them. They make some more shots.
Yeah, OKC 111 and a half is a lot. Not saying they can't get there, but it's a lot. I think over 104 and a half, I think is the play. Like, I think that's definitely the play and the way to go. All right, let's jump into baseball here. Let's see. Let me pull this comment down. Okay. All right, let me pull these off as well. Okay. Home run picks. All right, Kyle Schwarber plus 175, Bryce Harper plus 235, Matt Olson plus 310, Anthony Santander plus 390, and Jose Ramirez of the Guardians plus 500. Greg, I throw it over to you first. What do you see here?
I mean, for me, we talked about, up and down, and Matt Olson to me. I like the plus 310 today. I think that's pretty good value.
Let's see. I like Matt Olson a lot. I like both the Phillies. I like both Schwarber and Harper. I'm gonna go Harper. I'm gonna go Bryce Harper plus 235. We'll look at the weather here. Yeah, let's take a look at the weather because they're weird. Like they're Major League Baseball is weird today, and I know that doesn't help. But let me show you what I'm talking about. So there's, I believe, 9 games, and a lot of them have rain, and a lot of them have odd wind. You take a look at the Rangers and the Yankees here. Cold, 50 degrees, low 40s, 30% chance of rain throughout the game, and you see the wind blowing so far in. Again, not that you can't get runs in a game like this, but be careful. Just be careful in this game, man. Yeah. Orioles and the Red Sox. I mean, again, look at this wind, right? Like, you've got cold weather, mid 40s, feels like mid 30s, all right, and a 96%. Like, there's a good chance that this game doesn't play. So if you bet on this game or you bet on props in this one, be careful. Like, there's a lot of bad weather that's involved in this one. And then the Angels and the A's. Look, this is really this is really the only game that we have where there's good weather. Now, does it mean that these guys are going to rake? Who knows? The Angels and the A's, like, all kinds of madness can happen. Both good and bad. You got 80 degrees, feels like mid-70s, no chance of rain, wind blowing out here, not a whole lot. Apparently, Zach Neto of the Angels is going to hit a home run in every game. He's absolutely mashing. I think Brent Rooker went 0 for 5 yesterday. Mario says there's a nor'easter going on here in Massachusetts. Big wind and lots of rain. Yeah. Yeah, the Northeast is going to get pounded, man. So anybody who's betting games in the Northeast, yeah, be careful, man. Be careful. All right. Let's talk about hitter versus pitcher historicals. Jose Ramirez, all right, 2 home runs off Jack Flaherty, 5 hits, 20 at-bats. Kyle Schwarber, 6 hits, 17 at-bats, 3 walks, 2 home runs. Aaron Judge, I mean, he's absolutely mashed off Nathan Eovaldi. Now, here's the deal with that. Could be a home run day, could not be. But there could be hits. Now, again, if this game is played, we'll see. But Aaron Judge in props that aren't home runs could be solid. Yeah. And I see you guys talking in the chat about the Padres. These teams are just not going to hit. Like, they're just not going to hit, man. Jorge Polanco, the Mariners, he's got a home run. He only has 2 at-bats. Actually, 3 plate appearances, 2 at-bats, 1's a walk. Matt Olson against Trevor Williams, a home run. Again, though, like, you see what I'm talking about here is that we don't have much weather that's really in our favor. We don't have huge hitting historicals. I mean, we've got some decent stuff here, but this could be a day where there's just not a lot of home runs across Major League Baseball. Let's invert it. Take a look at Marcell Ozuna against Trevor Williams, 11 hits, 35 at-bats again. The Braves should be able to get on Trevor Williams. And I think the Nationals should be able to get on the Braves. Like, we should see runs in this one. All right. For all the A.J. Smith-Shawver fans out there, we should see some runs. You're going to see a lot of your boy Jermaine Marquez of the Rockies. There's a lot of Phillies that have history there. Gleyber Torres came off the bench in a pinch hitting role yesterday, which was frustrating. But you're going to see a lot of Tanner Baby there too. Yeah. All right. Hitting streaks. Cody Bellinger continues to rake. The dude just continues to get hit after hit after hit. 50 straight games with a hit. Jose Ramirez, same deal, 14 straight games. Spencer Steer, 10 straight games. And I know on Wednesday, we had questions if we could add the teams to this. Still trying to work on that. Trying to figure out a way where I don't have to do it manually because that would take forever. Jackson Holiday, 8 straight games with a hit. Taylor Ward, 7 straight games with a hit. Ozzie Albies, 7 straight games with a hit. So, Greg, I bring you back on. Like, any thoughts across baseball that you see today? Like we just talked about. It's kind of a weird day weather-wise.
I mean, anytime you see that many guys in Colorado with positive numbers, it's hard to ignore, regardless of what's happening there. Yeah, I mean, you look at just the hitting streak, and you look where Cody Bellinger was not so long ago. You know, getting a hit was a big struggle, and to see him continue this hitting streak is awesome. You know, it's really cool to see somebody that's achieving after so much struggle for quite a while there. But yeah, I think it's going to be. It's one of those Thursdays. MLB Thursdays are always strange to me, from start times to just odd things happen. So wouldn't be surprised if we see something weird again today. I'd love to see, if Bellinger can continue it. We thought that Bobby Witt was going to do it for a while. He ran out, but maybe Bellinger will keep this streak running.
Yeah, I mean, the dude just continues to get hits, man. And, I mean, he's mixing in home runs, grand slams in between those, but the guy just gets on base. Just absolutely gets on base. And we were talking about it. Oh, sorry. Rich. Yeah, we'll get it, buddy. We'll get it worked out for sure. I appreciate you, man. And anybody continue to drop in what can help on the show. You talk about teams that just can't hit. The Padres right now, they're having struggles. The Mets are all over the board. I don't know what to do with it. No, actually, I do know what to do. We talked about it yesterday, and he struck out twice again. Pete Alonso is in an absolute slump. He can't hit. Now, he's going to come out of that at some point. He's too good of a hitter not to. But if they keep giving you 2 strikeouts at plus money, take it. He can't hit. I mean, Pete Alonso's a miserable human being anyway. He's never happy. He's always like, I don't know what's going on in his head, but it's not happiness. He's just miserable constantly. I'll tell you another problem is Juan Soto. Juan Soto, like, the honeymoon's over. All right, you got $750 million, whatever it is. All right. Now, he'll go 1 for 3, 1 for 4, get him a walk. But that combo of having Soto hit right in front of old miserable Pete Olson, like, it's not good. It's not good. They're going to have to do something. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, dude, we were talking about Cal just a second ago. Greg, your thoughts on Cal, college baseball? Because Tony said, dude, they're mashing everything.
Yeah, and, they're getting mashed too. I mean, they gave up 12 yesterday too. It was just too late. So, I think that with, the timing of these games, it's hard. It's 6 a.m. for us West Coast people, and they're out there playing, for their lives. And they've scored. They've played with desperation. I worry if it runs out today, but regardless, I like the over in this one. I think that, Vandy's going to put up a bunch of runs, and Cal's swinging it, and they're confident right now, and they've got nothing to lose.
That's true. All right, let's hit on our picks one more time, Greg. I'll throw it over to you. What you got, buddy?
You said you wanted runs today. It's already 5-5 in one of them, 9-7 in the second inning of the Bowling Green game. You're getting moving this morning.
There
today,
we go.
Yeah, exactly. You wanted runs. I did. I was a click away from sending you the West Virginia over as well. So we both agree on that. I do think that will get over. Today, officially, we are on Grand Canyon. We're taking the Lopes again today. I think they will handle business. I loved what happened yesterday in their comeback. Texas A&M, we're going to continue to ride the dog here. Plus 115 going up against Auburn. And for our California play, we are taking USC and Cal Poly money line for plus 138 money line parlay.
Nice, man. Yeah. USC could use a win. They could use as many as they could get. All right, I'm going to go Anthony Edwards over 3.5 threes. Timberwolves plus 115. Braves Nationals over 8.5 minus 115. Tennessee and Texas. I honestly have no idea who's going to win this game. I'll tell you this. Take a guess. Anybody who hasn't looked. Greg, I'll throw it over to you. Take a guess at where you think the money line is. Tennessee
for which one?
Money line.
For Tennessee and Texas?
Yeah.
I think that Texas is like plus 140.
Yeah.
And Tennessee is like minus 180, something like that.
Minus 195 now.
Yeah.
What?
Desperation on Tennessee's end.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's like, be careful in this game. I've seen every pitch that Tennessee's had this year, every one of them, and I cannot tell you who wins this game. Tennessee could score 20 runs, would not surprise me. Tennessee could score 2 runs, 0 runs. It would not surprise me at all. I'm right there with you. Texas, the same thing. Texas could score 5 runs in the first inning, right? Like, that's one good thing about Texas, and it's been this way the past couple of years, is that they when they're on, they're a team that gets started early. Me and Bowman used to laugh for years that you could always bet Texas to score a run in the first inning. Always. And we'll see if that continues. But, yeah, I mean, Tennessee's favored. Minus 195. Solid. Again, that happens. We'll see. But, yeah, I'm taking the over 11 there. And then Cincinnati, like you said, man. Cincinnati, West Virginia. These 2 good offensive teams. And I think that they get this party started early as well. Right.
That was the future of a lifetime to hit with that West Virginia, how they somehow didn't have to play and still cash that future in for us. That was a godsend.
Right.
I don't know what world that happens in, but apparently this one, I guess.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the Howie Schwab group play of the day. You selected the Timberwolves plus 7.5 at 47%. Next was the Thunder minus 7.5, 29%. So the crew is rolling with Minnesota. They're going the opposite way, my boy. But you know what? I mean, Minnesota, we're gonna have to win one. Again, I'm not saying it's a must win, but you don't want to go down 0-2 at home.
No, you don't.
Because then, if you go 2-2, 1-1-1 in the series, if you go home down 0-2, all OKC needs to do is win one of those 2. And if they win it in game 3 and you go down 0-3, buddy, you are toast because you're playing game 4 at home. Game 5's on the you can't mess around. You're Minnesota. You got to go get this one played. Again, you can want to do whatever the hell you want in life. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So we'll see on that. All right, let's end the show on this. Terrible news, man, to hear about the Colts owner of Jim Irsay, him passing away. I know that he's had issues off the field. So, and I'm not laughing at it. Like, it just, I don't know how else to say it. He's had issues off the field. I'll tell you this. I met Jim Irsay once, very briefly, when working, for the Tennessee Titans. And Jim Irsay was cool, man. Like, there were some owners who were absolutely terrible. And again, you don't want to judge anybody off of a 1-second interaction. But the worst one that I ever met was Dan Snyder. By far, former owner of the Commanders / Redskins, right? Everything that you think that he is, he is. Him and his wife came in with 9 different, handbags. You're there for 3 hours, right? What are you, changing suits? You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a goofball.
He was kind of like a leech. Kind of like a leech guy. Kind of like a leech guy too. People adored him, and he was different and outgoing, and just wasn't scared to push the bar with things, and respected across the world. A guy that leaves behind a lot. And person that you would run through a wall for. Yeah.
And look, Z Money said, Irsay tweeted out just yesterday morning, "Go Pacers. Good luck to the organization in the city." Let me say this. So, exactly going off of that, Irsay was Irsay. But I'll tell you this. He was nice. He was kind. And he did care. He loved music. He loved a lot of things that were more than the Colts. But the Colts was a family affair, and he respected that. He respected the other. Like, I know that Irsay had his problems, and I hate to see anybody that goes through that. He was a different dude, but he was a good dude. Like, you never heard anybody say terrible things about Jim Irsay. They might say some odd things because he was an eclectic guy, but just condolences from all of us to him, to his family, to the Colts organization, because look, man, at the end of the day, the guy, he was a kind individual, and he cared about his team. He cared about his players, right? He went through a lot of stuff. I mean, he went through, the situation with Peyton Manning, and yeah, I just hated to see it, man, because it goes to show that you can have all the money in the world. Life is life, and it can bring you to your knees, man. And I just hated to see that. And yeah, condolences to him, condolences family. And to end it on a good note, Greg, Alex Cora, do you see this for the Red Sox? So missed a game to attend his kid's college graduation. And what I loved about it is, number one, that he did that, because graduation only happens once, and it's family, and graduating college is a big deal. I don't care who you are. It's a big deal. And number two, I love that absolutely no one made it a thing. And especially Red Sox fans, and I'm not saying that negative on them or on Boston fans. What I'm saying is they were the first to dive all in and wish congratulations and say, yeah, go. You should. So there's really nothing, to comment on it. I really liked seeing that story, and I really liked seeing everyone say, dude, it's a game. Yes, go. Greg, your thoughts on that? I think you're on mute.
You get caught up with the grind of the season. People get caught up with day to day, and you forget sometimes the bigger things. And it's cool to see, that it was embraced and accepted. And I think it should be a norm, like players leaving for their pregnant wives, and just it should be something that everybody should expect. It's such a big deal, and something that we would remember forever, and so will all of these people. And I think it was really nice, and had a great gesture, and cool that everybody, even as crazy as those Boston fans can be, they were real cool about everything that happened, and accepting about it. That's what's the most important thing.
Yeah, agreed. And it's easy. And again, I'm not putting on anything. Like it's easy for anybody to say, oh, this is the pros. Well, this is your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just love seeing it. It was a cool story, and I was happy that he did it. He didn't think a single damn thing about not doing it, and he wouldn't have given a damn if everybody was against it. But exactly what Kirk just said right there. All right. Your kids will remember. They'll remember that you were there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, shout out to that one, man. That's a good one. All right. Jump out of here. Everybody, have a wonderful Thursday. We'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern today. But until then, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets, and we will see you soon. Thanks. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.